Greetings to all participants online. Welcome to the Taiwan-Poland Fintech Webinar 2022. I'm today's MC, Betty Chan. Fintech has impacted almost every aspect of our lives in recent years, and online banking and payment has brought not only opportunities, but also challenges. The co-organizers for this webinar, FinTechSpace and Polish Investment and Trade Agency, have invited experts from Taiwan and Poland to share their digital transformation experiences, including promoting Digital Poland program, mobile and internet-only banks, cybersecurity in financial digitalization, and innovative applications. To kick off, we would like to first invite Ms. Brenda Hu, the Executive Secretary of the FinTech Center, Financial Supervisory Commission Taiwan, to give the opening remarks. Please welcome Executive Secretary Hu.
Mr. Walensky, Director of the FinTech Financial Innovation Department, KNF.
I'm sorry, could you please turn on your microphone? We cannot hear you. Yes, now we can hear you. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Walensky, Director of the Financial Innovation Department, KNF. Mr. Lansky, Head of the Taipei Office, Polish Investment and Trade Agency. Distinguished guests, my friends from Poland and Taiwan, good morning and good afternoon. Thank you for joining us, the Taiwan-Poland Fintech Webinar 2022. This is the fifth time Taiwan's FFC works with Polish KNF after both signed Fintech MOU in 2018. I'm excited seeing government representatives and Fintech teams from Poland again, because they always showed up with passion and innovative ideas. Poland values creativity and talents, and because of that, it has become the FinTech center of Central Europe. According to Statista, FinTech companies in Poland has increased by 80% from 2018 to 2022. The most phenomenal FinTech sector is digital payment. BLIK payment system stands out and is well known in Poland. We are very happy today we are going to have BLIK to share with us their experience on building the payment ecosystem. Cybersecurity is also an area attracting much attention these days. Cooperation in these areas is a key to minimize potential losses. CyberMed in Poland function as a platform to integrate all resources to fight cyber threats. It's our pleasure to have them today to show us how such a platform could provide a market with cybersecurity-related solutions and education. Today, we also invite Rakuten Bank to share with us their experience. Taiwan only grants 3 licenses of Internet-only banks. Rakuten is one of them. For Polish, virtual banks are common in daily life, but for Taiwanese, Internet-only banks are very new. I deeply hope that through experience sharing and exchange of views, we could mutually find rooms for advancement. Today, we also invite 2 FinTech teams from Poland and 2 firms from Taiwan to demonstrate their business models. Those are very good teams selected from Taiwanese and the Polish accelerators. We have many others in the pipeline. Today's forum is an appetizer. On October 28th and 29th, we are going to kick off the 2022 FinTech Taipei again. We welcome FinTechs from Poland to join with us in the exhibition in Taipei and show your best to our 30,000 visitors and investors. My great wishes to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Executive Secretary Hu. And next, we would like to invite Mr. Zbigniew Jacek Wilinski the Director of FinTech Development KNF, to give us his remarks. Over to you, Mr. Wilinski. I'm sorry, you're muted. Could you please unmute your microphone?
Yes, do you hear me now?
Yes, now we can hear you. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Zbigniew Wilinski. I represent Polish Financial Supervision Authority. Thank you very much for invitation by organizers. It is an honor to take part in the first Taiwan-Poland Fintech Webinar 2022. In a short speech, I would like to share some information about the condition of Polish fintech. We agree that digitalization of various areas of life is becoming an everyday reality for all of us. In Poland, for example, we are used to the fact that banking and payment services are very modern. And in many places, we can pay without any minimum limit on amount of the transaction. According to the annual 2022 report of cashless.pl portal, we can identify 299 entities in Polish fintech map in fintech sector, which is constant increase compared to previous years. The largest number of entities currently operate in the payment and industry. Almost 80 entities that are included or in this list. The Polish Financial Supervision Authority place particular emphasis on market security, including cybersecurity. All activities in this area or financial innovation should ensure the highest possible level of security. This is due to the fact that Poland has relatively large internal market and which these entities operate, and thus customer losses could discourage them from using specific innovative solution in the future. Let us also remember that cashless payments are no longer limited to payment cards, but it also includes payments with the phone or watch, as well as biometric payments such as PayEye solution. More and more people are willing to move away from cash only. And they see that a number of advantages such as security, no need handle to cash, and etc. And I mentioned before, cybersecurity is a very important area for Polish Financial Supervision Authority. We actively support the market as well as our clients, for example, by running as information campaign and defining the security requirements that entities in this area must meet. We believe that cybersecurity is one of the key areas for the development of financial market, as potential failures of attacks can effectively discourage customers from modern financial service. I hope that I have explained briefly what the fintech market in Poland offers and what approach the Polish Financial Supervision Authority has to do with it. I wish you a successful meeting and interesting presentation, and I'm convinced that it will happen. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wilinski. Next, we would like to welcome Mr. Łukasz Lansky, the head of Foreign Trade Office, Polish Investment and Trade Agency, to give us a few words, please.
Thank you very much. Ms. Brenda Hu, the Executive Secretary of the FinTech Center, FSC, Mr. Zbigniew Wilinski, Director of FinTech Department, KNF, dear colleagues from FinTechSpace Taiwan, ladies and gentlemen, Polish financial technologies are growing in a fast pace. Together with many new startups joining the industry, new innovative ideas are being born. Currently, according to the map of Polish fintechs, which I invite you to take a look at, there are over 299 entities in this sector. What's more, most of these companies were established in the last 5 years, making Polish fintech industry very diverse. The dynamic development of fintech enterprises at first seems like a competition to the services provided by banks. On the other hand, banks are the institutions that implement the solutions, and thanks to them, are able to even further develop themselves. The technological changes that take place in banking are, therefore, to large extent, a result of the development of the fintech industry. The rapid growth also brings more questions about security measures and how we should address them. Polish mobile banking, as well as cybersecurity sector, are one of the most developed in Europe. Today, it is my great pleasure to introduce to you key enterprises from these two sectors. Ladies and gentlemen, rapidly changing world gives us many challenges. I do believe that thanks to today's first Taiwan-Poland Fintech webinar, we will be able to create new bridges that can overcome these challenges, creating new solutions for people in Taiwan and Poland. I'd like to thank our co-organizer, Taiwan Financial Services Roundtable and FinTechSpace Taiwan, for its great support. I trust that with this first webinar, there are many more to come, bringing Taiwan and Poland closer together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lansky. On this special occasion, we would like to invite Executive Secretary Hu, Mr. Belinsky, and Mr. Lansky to turn on your camera and join us in a photo call. So please kindly turn your camera so we can see you. And please look at your camera. So 3, 2, 1, cheese. All right, give us your thumbs up, please. Give us your thumbs up. All right, 3, 2, 1, cheese. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, now we will begin this webinar. In the first part, our speakers will talk about fintech development and trend. Please welcome our first keynote speaker, Mr. Peter Peterzak, Director of International Development Bank Development, BLIK. He will talk about Poland's experience in developing innovative retail payments methods, BLIK system case study. Mr. Peterzak, the floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. Do you hear me well?
Yes.
I hope so. Perfect. First of all, thank you very much for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here and see so many people on this virtual event. It's very nice to have people from Poland and also from Taiwan. And today I was invited to tell you a story and present some kind of data about Polish payment system called BLIK, which is fully mobile payment solution established in Poland in 2015. So now I will take over the screen and share my presentation. I hope that everything you can see, and so let's start. Before I will jump into BLIK, I would like to introduce myself. So my name is Piotr. In English, it would be, of course, Peter. And since last year, I work for one of the most innovative mobile payment systems in Europe called BLIK. And this is the presentation about it. But before I joined BLIK, I worked for the big IT company called Opera. And spent most of my working life at ING Group, working in different parts of the banking sector, in different parts of Europe, but also in Asia. And also had an experience with the insurance company called Achmea. Altogether, I studied, lived, and worked in 9 countries around Europe and also world. So that's a few words about me. And let's jump straight into BLIK and Poland. So to give you a little bit of perspective about where BLIK operates, I would like to start with a couple of facts. In Poland, we have around 21 million active users of online banking. What does it mean? It means that in our country, roughly 21 million people are accessing their bank through the digital channels and log in at least one time per month. By online banking, I mean all the digital platforms. Users can access them through tablets, through laptops, through desktops, and also through mobile phones. Out of those 21 million of active users, we have roughly 16 million active users of mobile banking. And what does it mean? It means that roughly 16 million of Poles are accessing their financials through mobile banking apps of the banks. And out of those 16 million, almost 11 million are active BLIK users. So we have almost 11 million Poles transacting through BLIK monthly. So you can see that more than half of the mobile bankers in Poland are happy from using our solution for their daily payments. So now let me introduce you BLIK and what BLIK exactly is. So BLIK is a one-time 6-digit code used for payment initiation at any time, anywhere. So it's a temporary code that is generated inside mobile banking apps. So it's not a separate mobile banking app. It's an app that users already have, and it's embedded inside the app of your bank. So those are 4 most important things about BLIK. First of all, it's embedded seamlessly into existing mobile banking applications. It's universal. It's a payment method that users can use to buy online, in-store, they can withdraw cash, and they can use it for instant P2P payments between friends and family. It's fully independent from the card schemes because it works on account-to-account scheme. So the money and the source of money is the current account, not the debit or credit card. And we are not using card rails to process the payments. And what we are proud of, it's a successful startup because we achieved the break-even on EBITDA basis in the 5th year of operation. And we are already recorded net profit in the last 2 years from 2020 to 2021. So let me give some time to dive into each of those characteristics. What is the most important thing to understand is that BLIK is not a separate app. So it's integrated within already existing apps. Here you see a couple of examples of the Polish banks and their apps. Like you see, they're all very different. They have different user experience and user interfaces. But one thing in common, it's this 6-digit BLIK code, which is generated inside their apps. The code is generated and the user has 2 minutes to rewrite this code at online checkout, at POS terminal or ATM machine. No matter which bank you use in Poland, the process of paying with BLIK is always exactly the same. It only looks differently in the interface because the banks are controlling the interface of their apps, not BLIK. What we are happy about is after 7 years of operations, BLIK covers all retail customers in Poland, which means that BLIK is integrated with virtually all commercial banks right now in the country. So every retail customer have access to BLIK system. If we talk about the universality of the mobile payment method, you can pay with BLIK virtually everywhere in Poland, starting with paying in store, fully cashless and cardless. You can pay online without giving your card credentials. It's super secure because the users give only a temporarily valid code that is generated through our system. Users can send money to each other using mobile numbers, which are linked to the IBAN numbers. And of course, you can withdraw cash from the ATMs without the risk of skimming or losing your card, because the cash withdrawal is initiated through the code from your mobile banking app. So in general, in Poland, you don't need to use card anymore because BLIK is accepted almost everywhere. It's independent. The system itself connects the issuers, meaning the banks, with acquirers who accept the payment. We are leveraging the local clearinghouse, which settles the payments in the background. So in the end, where you see here on this very simple technical scheme, we don't involve card schemes at all in the process. What we are happy to say is that we are a profitable startup. Here you see our financials starting from the year of the inception of BLIK in 2015 until 2021. So here, first of all, the revenues which were growing from year to year. Then EBIT and EBITDA, which we recorded EBITDA break-even in 2019. And what we are the most proud of is that the last 2 years, 2020 and 2021, we recorded a net profit. So this is then income after the taxes. So this only shows that our business model and operating model, it's profitable. So let me now switch to the 12 major pain points that BLIK solves in the daily payments. And those pain points are divided into 4 groups per participant of the system. So let's start from the issuers, meaning banks who are issuing the BLIK codes. So the first pain points are high card transactions and maintenance costs. In case of BLIK, because the card schemes are not involved, our pricing can be summarized on one slide during the presentation. So it's very simple to understand for the issuers how much the transaction costs. Pain point number 2, complex and very granular scheme fee model used by card schemes. Every issuer, every bank around the world, they need to face very complex pricing structures of the global payment schemes. For BLIK, that's very, very simple. What is the most important thing, and I think it applies to most of the banks around the world, that they are losing primary relationship with users to third-party wallets. So there's more and more apps where the users can open an account, they can get a card, and they are not anymore in contact with their bank. Because BLIK is integrated with mobile banking apps. The code is generated inside banking app. The confirmation of the payment is also done through the mobile banking app. It means that we are increasing the number of interactions for those banks inside their apps. And to give you a proof of that, I will show you that almost 60% of all mobile transactions in Poland are processed via our system. Here you see 8 different banks. This is anonymized data. And the number of mobile transactions that were initiated through the mobile banking apps. And let's give, as an example, bank number 3. In the last quarter of 2021, in this particular bank, users initiated more than 71 million transactions through the mobile banking app. And out of 71 million, more than half of them were BLIK transactions. So you can see that on average, in most of the mobile banking apps in Poland, those transactions are BLIK transactions. So we are bringing the users back to the banking apps for payments. Let's move to the acquirers and merchants. The pain points here are quite similar to ones from the issuer side. So first of all, pain point number 4, low conversion rates at checkout. So that's very important for all online merchants, abandonment of the card. Here, that's a simple math. Rewriting all the card credentials at the checkout and rewriting 6-digit code of BLIK, that's much more easier for the user and faster. Again, high scheme commissions. Here, in case of BLIK, we are very competitive on the price basis compared to other payment methods. And of course, we like to say that we contribute to lowering the number of cash on delivery meaning the payment through BLIK online, it's so simple that for users it's easier to pay with BLIK online than to withdraw money and pay to the courier or at the post office for the package. We are still only in Poland, but thinking about going abroad. But we are already integrated with international acquirers and merchants, including Shopee, Amazon, Booking.com. So all the Polish users who are buying on those international platforms, they can pay with BLIK. Let's go to the users. With the users, one of many pain points are too many apps. Like you and me have tons of different apps on the phone, but in the end, we are using maybe 5 or 10 on the daily basis. Because BLIK is integrated inside the banking app, which you probably have on your phone, you don't need to install yet another app to use and pay with BLIK. What is most important, you also don't need to register. You don't need to go to the KYC again, because if you are a user of the mobile banking app, you are already checked by your bank, and you don't need to register additionally to use BLIK payments. Something that I mentioned at the beginning, that BLIK is a universal payment method. There are different alternative payments around the world, but they address usually one particular use case. If we talk about BLIK, you can pay with BLIK both online, offline, withdraw money and send money to your friends. So it's a universal payment method across all the use cases that you can imagine. Last but not least, one of many pain points of the users, and now the concerns are growing, is the privacy and data security in transactions. Because BLIK uses a temporary 6-digit code to initiate the payment, and this code is valid only for 2 minutes, and the transactions need to be authenticated by the user in the end of the process. It's super safe for the users to pay with code BLIK. You cannot steal the BLIK code. You cannot, even if I will show the BLIK code to someone without the knowledge how to unlock my phone and how to confirm the payment with my digital online banking, they cannot make a payment in the end of the day. So compare, for example, to card credentials, BLIK code cannot be stolen. This is an example for what people really love BLIK. It's a survey among our users. So you can see that people really like BLIK because it's super convenient, it's quick to pay, and it's extremely easy to use. And like I said on the first slide, no matter the bank that you are using, the process of paying with BLIK is exactly the same. The last part are regulators. And why regulators like BLIK? Because BLIK is local. The system is based here in Poland. So it's not dependent on any payment scheme from the overseas. The local players have full control over BLIK because BLIK belongs to 6 biggest banks in Poland. So they are setting up the governance, they're setting up everything, how it works. Plus, similar to online, we are contributing to lowering the number of cash in circulation because it's so easy to pay with BLIK. That we strongly believe that having this kind of mobile payment on the market helps you to diminish the role of cash in the circulation. So, a couple of words about our success story and a couple of numbers. What we are proud of, the number of transactions in the last year was higher than in the previous 6 years combined. Here you have the data for the last 7 years. The numbers are in millions. There are a number of transactions in POS terminals, P2P transfers, ATM withdrawals, and e-commerce payments. So we started in 2015, where ATMs were the most popular. Then we grew to 2016, 2017, the e-commerce was taking off. Then in 2018, we really realized that BLIK is a great solution for paying online. 2019, 2020, and really huge increase in 2021. So here you see that in 2021, the number of transactions outgrow all the previous years altogether. The same we can say about the volumes, where since the inception of BLIK, we processed more than 20 billion Polish zloty, which roughly translates to almost 50 billions of euros. Now I would like to show you last two videos how really BLIK works. I hope that you will see the video. Let's play it. This is how you pay with BLIK online.
Oh, sorry, we can't hear the sound.
There is no sound, no worries.
Okay, thank you.
Now you generate the code inside your mobile banking app. You rewrite the code on the online checkout. Confirm the payment. And then you receive the push notification through your mobile banking app. Would you like to confirm the payment? And you confirm the payment in the way how your bank requests. So it's a PIN code, passcode, or the Face ID. And then it's done. Super simple. For the biggest merchants in Poland, we introduced so-called one-click. So you can add the online merchant to your favorite ones, and then the only thing that you need to do is to confirm the payment, so you don't need to rewrite the code. And this is the journey for that. For the shop, that it's already on my list of trusted e-commerce websites. So I make a purchase. I choose BLIK to pay. Get the confirmation from the bank, verify the payment without the BLIK code, and it's paid. As simple as that. And it's done. So you have seen how the BLIK works. So my last slide for today is that what we are doing right now. BLIK right now operates only in Poland, but because of the success that we achieved on the local market, we are happy to bring BLIK to other markets. We are looking, of course, closely at Europe, but also open to discuss bringing BLIK to other countries, also to Asia. So we are looking for central banks who would be interested in building such a local payment system, but also commercial banks, mobile wallets, acquirers, and merchants who have those pain points that I mentioned before. So right now we offer an opportunity to set up independent mobile payment scheme, replacing all you are using for your everyday payments right now. So if everyone would like to have more details, I'm happy to answer you over the email or the video call after this conference. So let's BLIK Taiwan. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and the floor is yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Peterzak, for your wonderful sharing. If our participants have any questions, please type them in the chat box and they will be answered in a Q&A session later. Cybersecurity has always been a great challenge for online banking. Our next speaker is Mr. Łukasz Gawron, Chairman and COO of Cyber Made in Poland, and he will talk about Polish cybersecurity sector and its development within financial institutions. Over to you, Mr. Gawron.
All right. Hope you can hear me. Hope you can see me and see my presentation.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. So thank you for the invitation. I'm very happy to be here for such wonderful webinar, and good morning for guests from Poland and good afternoon for guests from Taiwan. My name is Łukasz Gawron and I'm the CEO of the Polish Cybersecurity Cluster, and today I would like to show you and describe the Polish cybersecurity sector and its development within the financial institutions. But first, before I start my topic of presentations, I would like to briefly describe you our clusters. So Polish Cybersecurity Cluster, Cyber Made in Poland, was created as a platform of cooperation and promotion of the Polish cybersecurity industry. For now, we associate 56 Polish cybersecurity companies that covers almost each and every segments of the cybersecurity. As you can see on this slide, of course, it's just a piece of the puzzle. Our goal is to build the efficient cybersecurity ecosystem in Poland, of course. And we are doing it together, of course, with our members, our companies, but also with our partners, our advisory board. And let's say our activities is based on the 4 main pillars: the market education, when we want to educate the specific segments of clients, specific segments of the, let's say, economy. Of course, we are helping our companies to grow abroad. We have projects that they are focusing on foreign expansion, and we are doing the activities that are related to the certification and regulation, and as well as the financing, of course, from public and the private funds. So we were established in September 2020, so we are almost 2 years old in terms of our activities, in terms of our cluster. And I think that's it in terms of our description. So let me jump in directly to the topic of my presentation today. So before I start talking about the cybersecurity, I would like to describe you the, let's say, whole ICT and cybersecurity market in Poland. As you can see on the slide, maybe I will start saying that Poland is the biggest ICT market in the Central Eastern Europe. Of course, we are the biggest country in the region, so our market is also the big. We have a significant number of STEM graduates here in Poland, as well as very well developed the software development industry, for example. So as you can see on this left bottom chart, the Polish ICT market was valued at around $13 billion in 2021. And of course, it's still growing. So we are the path of the constant growth in terms of the ICT market. And of course, pandemic haven't stopped this trend. Quite opposite, the pandemic was, I don't want to say the booster, but let's say the digital transformation was very helpful in terms of the, let's say, market growth in ICT. And of course, cybersecurity is not an exception. As you can see on this, let's say, red chart on the right bottom of the screen, the value of the Polish cybersecurity market in 2022 is around $1.5 billion. And of course, when you compare it, for example, to the 2020 and 2025 forecast, it almost doubled the value. So the cybersecurity market is growing even faster than ICT sector or other ICT sectors that you can imagine. So yeah, let's go into the, I will show you some numbers. Of course, these numbers are mostly based on, let's say, our internal research. So of course, we are not associate every single cybersecurity company in Poland, of course, in our cluster. But I think we have a very significant number of the market here associate or cooperate with our cluster. So that I can show you a general state and the trend in the cybersecurity segment to, let's say, extrapolate these numbers to the whole trend of the whole sector industry, as you can say it. All right, so first of all, the key segments of the cybersecurity market in Poland. So as you can clearly see, the most of the market is the service-based. So Polish cybersecurity companies specialize in the services, of course, and of course we see that it's a different trend right now, but I will tell you a little bit about it more. So so it's basically service-based. 55% of the let's say companies are service-based, with 40 on the software and only 5% on the hardware. When in terms of, let's say, structure of our members, so that's also clearly shows that we associate startups, micro entrepreneurships, small and mediums. We don't have any, let's say, big company, so that's specialized in the cybersecurity only, and we can call it the Polish cybersecurity company. So that's clearly show you that this market is constantly developing. It's the path of the constant growth, and it's of course very innovative, because if you have so many startups, so many, let's say, small and medium entrepreneurships, they are just, let's say, developing their solutions right now. In terms of the export activities, it's 75% of our members are exporting to the other countries, and 25 not yet. And I said yet deliberately because I am quite sure that we'll start to cooperate with, let's say, external partners quite soon. So to sum up this slide, Polish cybersecurity market is of course service-based, but as I mentioned, there is a trend shift towards product-based. So we can see that the service-based companies are, let's say, trying to reverse or trying to build the new product-based solutions, even they are their service company, for example. But also what we can see in the cluster is that we associate more and more startups that have very innovative solutions, for example, based on like quantum cryptography, blockchain, etc. And they are basically almost in each and every case product-based companies. So I think this trend will shift towards, and within the next couple of years, it could be the even 50% share of service and products based. Of course, the majority of the market, the SMEs and startups, we associate in the cluster only SMEs and startups. But as I said, in Poland, there is no, let's say, the big companies specialize only in the cybersecurity, but we can call it big. So it's the market based on SMEs and startups. And of course, 75% are exporting, even if they are the SMEs and the startups, even if let's say, they are just developing their business, developing their solutions, they are trying to, let's say, cooperate with abroad partners to sell their solutions to the foreign markets, which is quite interesting. Okay, so in terms of the financial sector, as a cyber driver in Poland, I call it financial sector cyber driver, and I will explain you soon why. And now I would like to describe you how the financial sector and why the financial sector is the most mature, if not the most mature sector in Poland in terms of the cybersecurity. Why we can call financial sector as a cyber driver. So first of all, this is a mature and efficient cybersecurity ecosystem. The financial institution in Poland, financial system in Poland, of course, they have own cybersecurity departments, agencies, institutions. They are responsible for the cybersecurity. So we have, of course, Office of the Polish Financial Supervisory Authority, which they have an own cybersecurity department. And the Polish Financial Supervision Authority, they have only up and running sectorial CESIRT here in Poland. And that was the first one in Poland, and it's operating right now, of course. And what's more, the highly developed cybersecurity capabilities in banks. Of course, the banks in Poland has a very, let's say, large cybersecurity departments. They are, let's say, trying to protect basically their clients, right? So this combination that clearly shows us that this system is efficient. This system is working, and is working constantly here in Poland and improving, of course. What's more? Recommendations delivered by the system actors. So the system actors that I mentioned previously, they're delivering guidelines, market practices, cybersecurity standards, and recommendations created by the cybersecurity department, of course, of the Polish Financial Supervision Authority, but not only. So they are trying to constantly improve the cybersecurity, constantly enhance cybersecurity capabilities within the financial system, even the banks, insurance companies, but also, let's say, the public institution or the regulators of how we can call it. So basically, they are constantly need to, let's say, have the innovative solutions to be up to date with the cyber threats, to be up to date to the new technology that appears to the market, because they are constantly trying to improve their capabilities. Of course, it's a highly regulated market in terms of the cybersecurity, both on the European and the national level. On the EU level, we have, of course, NIS directive, we have a PSD2 and DORA. I don't want to describe either of that, but generally, as you can clearly see on the both national, yes, but also the European level, we have a couple of, let's say, laws, couple of acts that regulate this market. And of course, the financial sector is also regulated and very highly regulated. But this is also a good thing, because they are financial institutions. They have to, let's say, fulfill the certain level of the cybersecurity because of these acts, right? Because they have to do this. Of course, even without let's say, these acts, I'm quite sure that the banking, for example, financial authorities would have a very good level of the cybersecurity. Even so, yeah. And last but not least, it's this high absorption of innovative fintech and cyber solutions. As I said, since the market is highly regulated, since they're delivering the recommendations and trying to improve the cybersecurity within the system, they need to have the innovative solutions that will protect their clients. So let's say the financial institutions, they have very well developed in-house development, cybersecurity or fintech solutions, or they are cooperating with the market. They have the market partnerships on that. So as you can see, let's say bird's eye view of that, it's four main, four main pillars, four main things that, let's say, proves that financial sector in Poland in terms of the cybersecurity is very well mature and constantly improving, constantly growing, and is eager to cooperate with the market. What's more, based on our internal research, of course, as I said before, we asked companies that about, let's say, the segments of their clients, and almost 70% of our members said that they are cooperating with financial institutions, and most of them said that the financial sector, for example, banks, they are, let's say, priority client in terms of the solutions that are implemented within the financial institutions. So as you can clearly see that financial institutions have a very big demand for the cybersecurity solutions, and the market will and can deliver that to them. Yeah, but we are talking about solutions. What kind of solutions? I mean, as you can see on this chart, we have, this is of course the piece of the puzzle. It's not the whole solutions that can be delivered to the financial institutions. But as you can clearly see, the most popular solutions, let's say, in terms of the cybersecurity companies in Poland is penetration testing and audit. So basically services. Since our market is service-based, it's pretty clear and straightforward that let's say the most popular services, the most popular solution is basically a service that they are delivering to the banks here in Poland. Of course, this is not only the case. We have a significant number of, let's say, network security solutions, the security operations center, as well as identity access management, mobile security, human factors, encryption, endpoint security, etc., etc. So basically, the lot of the expertise, the lot of the solutions can be implemented within the financial system. And if the 70% of the companies said that the financial sector is one of the key segments of the clients, but you can clearly shows that the cooperation, the financial institutions cooperation with the cybersecurity market here in Poland is very well developed. So to sum up this slide, even if the company's SME financial sector institutions eagerly reach for the market solutions, that's what I said before. So even we have a startup with the innovative solution, even we have the SME that just growing their businesses, the financial institutions, banks, for example, are not afraid, I think I can say that, are not afraid to implement this solution to their let's say daily basis business, to their banking solutions, how we can call it. And as I said before as well, financial sector is one of the most developed sectors in Poland in terms of the cybersecurity, due to these four main pillars that I show you on the previous slide, but also that this, let's say, numbers, this charts that you can see right now, it clearly shows that that they are, let's say, have a high absorption of the cybersecurity technology, so they are constantly improving their cybersecurity. I'm saying about financial institutions constantly improving the cybersecurity capabilities here in Poland, together with the, let's say, market partners. And of course, banks often reach for innovative solutions from startups. That's of course the case. They are often support the, let's say, development of the cybersecurity startups by the, let's say, dedicated accelerators of incubators or programs, grants, whatever. So basically, this cooperation is, I can say clearly, as a benchmark for other, let's say, sectors of the economy here in Poland. Maybe not only in Poland, but in the other countries as well. Okay, so this is not an advertisement. I mean, of course, this is I would like to show the concrete examples of what kind of innovative cybersecurity solutions can be implemented to the financial sector, for example, right? So, of course, this is our members, let's say, no, of course, not every members, but the members, they are offering the cybersecurity solutions to the financial sector from banks mostly. So this is, as I said, I wanted to show you the concrete examples of that. So, for example, we have a company that have the solutions that based on identity verification, based on the deep neural networks, for example, so can be implemented when the clients, for example, want to open the bank account online. It was very popular here in Poland during the pandemic that people wanted to, let's say, open an account or, I don't know, to contact the bank for some reason remotely because of the, let's say, strict lockdown. The other companies have a solutions based on behavioral biometric, and of course, behavioral biometric could be implemented to the, let's say, online banking solutions as well as the mobile banking solutions as, let's say, second step of the two-factorial authentication or add on to the two-factorial authentication for sure. We have a company that offers security operations center, in-house building, or the outsourcing security operations center is very popular topic here in Poland. The building such structures in the financial institutions, but not only financial, the other as well could be, let's say, the good enhancement of the cybersecurity capabilities for these institutions. Of course, we have the companies that have innovative mobile devices management solutions. So of course, as was said before by my previous speakers, that the mobile banking is very popular these days. So basically, we need to think about how to secure the mobile, how to enhance and how to develop the secure mobile banking applications apps. We have a company that, for example, have the encryption based on blockchain technology with very innovative solution. So when it comes to, let's say, when you want to send the encrypted file, you can use their solutions because they are super secure because they are based on the blockchain, for example, right? And last but not least, we have, since our market is service-based, we have a lot of the companies that are offering penetration testing, audits, consulting, and compliance, for example. And of course, they have a very innovative and unusual sometimes solutions, but for example, the penetration testing, automatization, and so on. So they are developing the innovative solution as well. And since the Polish market is a service-based, they're often implement and often, let's say, doing this services for the financial institutions here in Poland. And of course, we have many more. This is just a piece of the puzzle that I wanted to share with you. I wanted to show you the concrete examples of the solutions that are very popular here in Poland in terms of the cybersecurity within the financial sector, of course. So basically, that's everything from my side. If you want to reach me, if you want to, let's say, talk with me about the cybersecurity market industry here in Poland, I'm all yours. Here we have my contacts, so I'm eager to cooperate with you to talk more. And I think for today, that's it from my side. Thank you very much once again for the invitation, for your attention, and of course, I'm here to answer your questions if any will appear. Thank you again.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gowron, for your insights. If our participants online have any questions, please type them in the chat box and they will be answered in the Q&A session later. Moving on, now we will enter part 2, FinTech company sharing. In this part, representatives from 2 Taiwanese companies, Insto and ZUSO, and 2 Polish companies, erestro and Billon Group, will share with us their experience in FinTech. First of all, please welcome Mr. Bruce Chan, founder and CEO of Taiwan Insto Technologies Company Limited. Over to you, Mr. Chan.
Hi, everyone. Let me share my presentation. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. Oh, it's good. Let me use a PDF file because my computer is kind of new and the office is not properly configured. Okay, so you can see my screen right now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So Insto, we basically we make financial transactions, especially focusing on credit card payment, very accessible on your handset. So anyone could just download the Insto Tap, our credit card app. Here, Insto Tap, and complete the registration, connect to your bank account, and you can start to take credit card payment right on your phone. And we partner with the largest banking group, financial group in Taiwan called Taipei Fubon. Taipei Fubon Bank is our acquiring bank. And so essentially, Insto Tap is like a virtual credit card reader. And we focus on building our software platform without the need of using any hardware. The size of market is pretty huge. So globally, the transaction volume of credit card and debit card payments reach 29 trillion annually worldwide. And for consumer financing, it's 9 trillion annually. And we combine both functionalities in one app. So users who have Insto Tap can take credit card payment from their clients and also offer consumer financing to the customers. And we launched last year with Taipei Fubon Bank, and the traction has been very good. The first year, I think we reached $7.7 million in GMV, total transaction volume, and that's only in Taiwan. And this year we expect to reach or surpass $20 million in GMV. And we are also signing up with acquiring bank in the U.S. It's a top 5 bank in the U.S. So we plan to complete the integration by the end of this year, and then launch in the U.S. In the first quarter of next year. And so we can foresee our overall transaction to reach go beyond $1 billion by the end of 2024. And Insto is different from 2 major competitors. The 2 major competitors are Square and Stripe. And let me brief you the major difference. For Stripe, Stripe focus on just an API payment, and Square focus on the post-machine payment. And Insto is the only application that's being provided through pure app. Anyone can download our app and take credit card payment. So not only we require no hardware, and also we can support buy now pay later, and also we don't charge any monthly fee, and our rate is also the most competitive. So from our experience in Taiwan, we are very confident that this software application, this platform, can scale internationally and go worldwide. Our business model is very simple. Every transaction we take a cut. So for credit card processing, every transaction we take a cut around 0.8 to 0.7%. And for consumer financing, every transaction, depending on the product you choose, we take around 4%. So this is our very simple business model. So right now, Insto is a software platform that's made in Taiwan, and also a fintech app that's going global. So right now, just like what I mentioned, Square right now is value. It's already has a market cap of 67 billion, and Stripe is a value at 36 billion, and PayPal is well over 200 billion. And we have partnered with Taipei Fubon Bank and US Bank for credit card acquiring, ready to go global. And we're still in the very early stage. And I think we are both very excited and very proud to deliver a software platform that's built in Taiwan and that can scale internationally. We have a very small team. The team is only 12 people. So there's 10 full-time and 2 part-time. The team is very concise because we rely on the power of the internet platform. So even though you see that we are growing pretty fast, but in fact, we have 0 sales. We don't have any salesperson in our team. Everything you see in the growth is very organic. So this is my contact in line. So if you want to reach out to me, you can scan my QR code with line, or here is my email address, and you can reach me with an email address, bruce@ins.to, bruce@insto. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your wonderful sharing, Mr. Chan. If our participants have any questions, please type them in the chat box and they will be answered in the Q&A session later. Next, we would like to welcome Ms. Tina Lee, Executive Assistant of ZUSO Generation Limited. Over to you, Ms. Lee.
All right.
Sure. So Ms. Lee, could you please turn on your camera? We can't see you.
Okay.
Yes, good. Now we can see you. Thank you.
Okay. So can everyone please see my slide?
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm Tina. Hello, everyone. I'm Tina, the Executive Assistant of ZUSO Generation from Taiwan. It's our great honor to be invited by FinTechSpace Taiwan to join this webinar today. And I will take around 10 minutes to introduce our company and talk about cybersecurity. When it comes to cybersecurity, we believe that offense is the best defense. And that's also our core value. Today, my presentation will divide into 4 parts. First, I will introduce ZUSO Generation's background and experts. Second of all, since being proactive is the best way to protect ourselves from cyber attack. So in this part, I will talk about cybersecurity assessment. Third, sharpen also always can be ignored. So here I will share a web log management solution. In the end, I will make a conclusion of today's briefing. So about ZUSO, once upon a time, no, I'm kidding. In 2002, we were just a community discussing the techniques of cybersecurity online. However, it wasn't until 2019 for the community to become a formal company. And now we are an offense-oriented company, has more than 15 professional researchers analyzing the cyber attack. Although our company seems like a new startup, our researchers keep attending lots of activity. When it comes to bug bounty, ZUSO Advanced Research Team has many achievements from international business giants like Apple, Facebook, and Sony. And we have lots of international license on both technique and management as well, like OSCP and ISO. It's also worth to mention that our researchers have acquired the CVEs from international leading companies such as QNAP, Apple, and Synology. Most of all, ZUSO Advanced Research Team is now at as CVE numbering authority. In last year, our technical manager Shirley also attended CoBlue to share the topic of NOT security. So many of our researchers are the speaker of seminar and webinar at the same time. So I would say the overall technical qualification we have is very high. So now let's discuss the cybersecurity assessment. In ZUSO, rating is based on MITRE ATT&CK framework. Through the framework, we can simulate the real APT attack like closer to the real attacker. In order to reinforce the defense ability of Blue Team, our rating assessment aims to gain valuable system management permission and sensitive information by attacking the internal network, gaining access and exploring potential breaches. For the penetration test, our team focused on conducting reconnaissance and exploitation. For example, to the third-party kit, we usually find the source code first, then evaluate if there's any current accessible vulnerabilities. On the other hand, we also focus on business logic vulnerabilities. Business logic flows are very common in large application projects that allows attacker to get unintended behavior. Next up is about introducing the incident response. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, there are more and more cyber attacks happen recently. The service we provide for IR is similar to other companies, checking the scope of infection, looking for the source of the intrusion through the log data. If they didn't keep any logs, then we would execute some sniffer tools on this situation. However, we have a great advantage, better than other companies when we conducting IR, since we have an advanced research team specialized in reverse analysis to find the root cause. With this ability, we can know more clearly and deeper on what's confidential data in the malware gets from the incident. The last service we have is the consultant service. To ensure the confidentiality, integrity, and high availability of the various information assets of clients, establish a new corporate cybersecurity image to become a leader. Some company will need a professional cybersecurity consultant service for assistance. The consultant service we provide is more practical. First, we will discuss the requirements of what they actually need and customize a 1 to 3 years project for them. If they don't have enough budget, then we will assist them to use some open source and tools. Besides, we also provide a web log management solution to enhance their cyber attack visibility. So as what I mentioned, we put lots of effort into cybersecurity consultant service and rating assessment. With these experiences, ZUSO decided to develop a security operating platform, CyberEyes, to centralize log management and assist users detect suspicious activity in real time, provide enterprises high safety environments for recording entire web log. There are a few scenarios coming up to tell you why we need CyberEyes solution, especially in financial technology. There is more and more credential stuffing attack happen to financial industries such as banking, stock market, or exchange. So what is credential stuffing? It's an attacker may use a list of username and password obtained in a breach or the dark web and run an automated process like botnet to check if the stolen credential works on the website or not. Then users send login credentials to log into the bank account, eventually buy huge stock and cause big losses of the company. After we review this kind of incident, we find out there are two key points. First, they don't collect web log. Second, they collect log and machine data of core system, but without analyzing. However, from CyberEyes monitoring feature, we could detect abnormal logging behavior and access log from web log and push notification promptly. In this generation, when we talk about payment flow and technology, most of people may think about online shopping. So for e-commerce, a taker may bypass WAF and doing code injection by common scripting language like Python, Java, or even PHP, and inject the malware code into an application and have it executed. So that the attacker can remotely execute commands on computer device or server side to steal sensitive data and damage corporate image. In this case, CyberEyes management feature not only centralized log, it can also detect web server attack and provide more comprehensive view of security by correlating web log. Once a cyber incident happened, when hacker is trying to do something, immature errors that caused. For example, server administrator will respond 500 internal server error, or when bot keeps scanning vulnerability from different IP, it will show 404 error. In the meantime, CyberEyes can check abnormal connected IP and trigger cyber alerts. So we can analyze this event by stats code and receive bytes. Totally shorten response time by automatic reports. The process significantly saves time and efforts that goes into traditional log management. Obviously, CyberEyes solution is to record entire log of cybersecurity incidents, which include web log, SIG log, and server log. For endpoint, CyberEyes can focus on Windows event as well, like secure application and system, and provide more comprehensive information with SysMon. Most of all, CyberEyes mainly focuses on web access monitoring and identify suspicious web attack. So here's the dashboard of our CyberEyes solution. You can quickly identify current situation. The graph on the top is concerning to the equipment effectiveness. When the application crashes, the alarm mark will be triggered. So once we see the log data quickly grows up, we could check if we've been DDoS or the website is doing like marketing campaign. The bottom part includes risk amount and the priority, like top 3 popular page, top 5 other service, and suspicious endpoints. These can help clients quickly drill down on application-related issue, diagnose and identify the root cause of the incident, do troubleshooting right after. For example, once SQL injection is happening, when user receive the cyber alert and click on the alert page, the states of event can be clearly presented in a permanent way to CyberMike correlation graph. It shows a suspicious IP is trying to connect a particular server and URI. So the user can drag and drop the CyberMike to know current situation. The detailed information can be deeply analyzed through the chart below, include the attack method, influence scope, execution time, and the entire web event. So for compliant requirements, CyberEyes centralized log management feature includes log availability of the system. With automated troubleshooting feature, it can proactively monitor attack of web service and check suspicious user IP actions, automatically gather, analyze, and correlate log data onto multiple security systems and devices. CyberEyes performs log management optimization and network event data monitoring. It comes with lesser time, budget, and provide proper data backup to collect and integrate all fragmented data and assist enterprise improving cybersecurity visibility, making them more efficient and effective. So this is a quick overview of our company and cyber solution. Generally speaking, most of cybersecurity companies provide similar service with very little differences, but ZUSO provides service and solution much more thoughtful and customized that make us huge different from others. In the end, we sincerely hope the presentation help you gain a better insight into cybersecurity. Thanks for everyone's attention, and please feel free to email us if you have any other questions. And here's our website and our Facebook fans page. If you are interested, don't forget to give us a like. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Lee, for your wonderful sharing. If our participants online have any questions, please type them in the chat box and they will be answered in a Q&A session later. After listening to the experiences from Taiwan, now let's hear from our friends from Poland. Please welcome Ms. Emilia Slomask, new business manager of erestro. Please.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me here. Let me share my screen. And just let me know if it's visible right now.
Yes, we can see it. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so let's start. One more time, thank you for having me here. My name is Emilia Słomska. I represent erestro as a new business manager. erestro is a fintech as a service company from Poland. And today I would like to tell you more about us. I would like to tell you more who we are, what we do, where we are with our implementations. And I would like to show you some examples of our projects, implementations, especially in Asia region. So let's start with who we are. erestro is a fintech as a service platform. We provide innovative payments solutions for our customers. We started 11 years ago in Poland, and year by year we expanded our services, our solutions into different regions, different markets. Right now, we present with our projects in more than 25 markets and 5 continents. Most of our team is based in Poland. However, we have some local offices, and I will tell you more about it a bit later. During last 11 years, we gained our experience because of cooperation with different types of customers. So we cooperate with banks, of course, we cooperate with merchants, we cooperate with fintechs, mobile network operators, payment providers, but also with card networks. We are in a close cooperation with MasterCard and with Visa. So we take from them some of the APIs, we collect them in our infrastructure, we prepare some SDKs, APIs, and we provide them to our customers. So in general, we are technology provider for our customers. It's worth to say that 2 years ago, MasterCard decided to invest into erestro and became our shareholder. What is important to say here as well is that MasterCard is not only our investor. However, MasterCard is also our customer, our partner, and together we expand our services in a different regions. Here you can see the graphical visualization of our activities. So you can see that we are as I mentioned, we are the company from Poland, from Warsaw, and here we have a headquarter. However, we have also some local offices in different countries. For example, we have local members in United States, in Latin America, in Bulgaria, in Europe, but also we have local members in Thailand. Actually, we have a plan this year to have more offices, more local members, also in Asia, because we see a very big potential there. And we think that it's very important to have local members in the same region as our customers are. Here a bit more about our products and what we do. We have our own erestro end-to-end platform, which has a connection with our partners. So again, with banks, with mobile network operators, fintechs, and merchants. And what we do and what we have inside. Inside our erestro end-to-end platform, we have smaller microservices, and each microservice is responsible for different product. Regarding products, here above you can see the range of main products that we offer to our customers. So starting from tokenization of the cards. So you can tokenize the cards and use it for contactless transactions. Through money transfers, through QR payments that we provide, or white label solution means a mobile application for Android and for iOS. We have also in our portfolio some loyalty and card benefits program, digital card issuing, including KYC processes, so digital onboarding, plus the whole card issuance processes. And of course, we have some management of those cards, management of users, and many more. And how we do that? Our erestro end-to-end platform has a connection with external APIs that you can see here, with MasterCard APIs, with Visa APIs. We have, of course, our own solutions like white label, and we have a connection with third-party APIs. We have a connection actually with a lot of external partners to be able to provide to our customers complete processes, including digital onboarding, registration, tokenization, QR payments, and mobile application. So the customers don't have to sign the agreement with a lot of different providers, just with us, with our one integration platform, and we are able to provide them different functionalities. How we can provide those functionalities? We have three ways of that. The first way is that we just provide the SDKs to existing solutions of the customers. So usually when banks or fintechs, they have their own mobile application and they would like to implement some new innovative payment solutions, we just provide them the SDK. So this is just backend module simply. Another model of integration is to provide APIs to our partners. So sometimes we have projects with some e-commerce platforms and they just need an API connection, server to server. So this is also ready on our end, and we just provide the API. And the last model of the integration with erestro is to provide a white label solution. So we provide full mobile application with functionalities that customer would like to implement. Then it's just a decision of the customer what kind of functionalities should be implemented into that white label solution. We just need some information about the colors, logotypes, and so on, visuals, languages, and then it's very easy project and very fast to provide to customer and go live. And that's about the implementation phase and the product, the range of the product that we usually provide to our customers. But what about the post-implementation, which is also very important for our customers, how we handle that? So we have agreed SLA with our customers. We have 24/7 customer service, of course. We have English support. We provide the management tool for our customers that can be also used by customer service of the customer. So administration portal is a management tool where the customer can check some statistics, reports, generate the reports, see some activities inside the wallet, see the list of the customers, cards, tokens, and many more, and manage those things through that. So it's very helpful for our customers to have something like that. Last but not least is the private cloud hosting. Infrastructure is also a very important point here, because we as a erestro, we can of course host the whole solution in our infrastructure in Poland, in clouds. However, we also had some, we have an experience in a cooperation with companies, with fintechs and with banks from India, for example, and we had to adjust our solution and our hosting and our infrastructure to their legal requirements. So we had to build the infrastructure in the country of the customer. So it's also doable. Of course, it's always better to have an infrastructure in our place, because we are responsible then for monitoring, for deployment, for all necessary updates and so on. However, of course, we are open for discussions about different models of hostings as well. And here I would like to show you the examples of our implementations. What is important here, I wanted to focus on the customers from Asia region. So this is the first point. The second point, I wanted to show you that we are ready to cooperate with the different types of customers, because you can see here the card networks, you can see here e-commerce platforms, you can see here banks, you can see here bigger and smaller players simply. So we are ready and we are able actually to cooperate with different types of customers. Also, you can see here the different locations of those customers, which means that the location is not it's not a blocker for us simply to cooperate with those customers. And I wanted to show you the type of products that we provided to them so far. So let me start describe, and let me tell you more about the first implementation for MasterCard that we did for Singapore, and it was digital card controls for SMEs. This is the product that we can easily provide to banks, because banks, they have, let's say, a big, they cooperate with corporations, they cooperate with SMEs, and this is a product for them. They can offer to their corporations, SMEs, the product will allow employers to issue payment cards for employees. And the model of integration, the model of that product was that we prepared the mobile application for iOS and for Android to display the card details, to manage those cards and to make payments, and also administration portal for banks and for SMEs, for employers, to issue the cards, virtual and physical cards, in real time for their employees. Another example here is a project for Grab and Shopee, and this is the one product that we provided for them, and it was tokenization MDES MCBP NFC solution. So it was a model of integration where we provide to them only backend module of the erestro microservice responsible for tokenization. So they wanted to implement a solution where their end users have existing payment cards in their mobile applications, and they would like to tokenize those cards and use them for contactless transactions. And we did it in Singapore and in Thailand. Another example here is RBL Bank. From India, and this is actually very similar to the previous example, but one difference here, the bank wanted to tokenize not cards but bank account numbers. So we adjusted our solution to bank account numbers, and this is also the example where we had to adjust the infrastructure because of the legal requirements from that country. And the last but not least here is a Quico. This is a payment institution, works globally actually. And this is an example where we provided the full white label solution, meaning mobile application, including digital onboarding, KYC, digital issuance, tokenization of those cards, QR payments, money transfers, fitnesses, connection to Apple and Google Pay, and so on. And this is, let's say, a smaller payment institution, and we did everything from scratch. So that's from my side, actually. I just wanted to give you like a very short and general information about erestro and our implementations so far. Thank you very much feel free to ask some questions. And that's my email here. If you would like to know more how we adjusted our services for our customers from different regions, just let me know and send me an email. I will be more than happy to discuss.
Thank you very much, Ms. Slamska, for your wonderful sharing. If our participants online have any questions, please type them in a chat box and they will be answered in the Q&A session later. Last but not least, please welcome Mr. Robert Kałuza, COO of Billon Group, please.
Hello, everybody. My name is Robert Kałuza. I'm a CEO and one of the co-founders of Billon. Let me start with sharing my presentation. No, not this one. Can you see it? Hello, can you see the presentation?
Yes.
All right. So I will start with introducing Billon. Billon is the Polish UK company, roughly around 80-85 people, mainly IT in IT and tech roles. We hold 2 e-money licenses in UK and Poland. We produce our own blockchain protocol that I will explain what it is unique and what is our value proposition and how we differentiate of other players on the market. So far, we've built quite a nice list of large enterprise clients and the large of the partners networks that I will also introduce later on in our presentation. So far, we were very successful in getting both prices. We have FinTech top 50 company in Europe. I think one of the big prize that we won the main prize on the FinTech festivals in Singapore a few years back. Quite good in getting European and Polish research grants to develop our technology. So what is the Billon platform? We call it the Unified Enterprise DLT. This is a blockchain solution that joins 3 things. First of all, fully regulated national fiat currencies. We process fully on-chain documents for data sharing and documents processing, also fulfilling the regulatory aspect of GDPR, data protection, and so on. And last but not least, we use this to share the information between the parties and the users on our system. All this is controlled by sovereign identity, so each user on our system controls its own keys. And the goal of our company is to create a DLT blockchain solution that helps the companies with the digital transformation. Why we are different? In our DNA, we have the regulatory compliance. So whenever we do anything new with our blockchain layer 1 technology that was purely developed by Polish cryptographers and mathematicians and programmers, we start with selecting the regulatory scheme, and then we try to adjust the solution to fulfill regulatory requirements. For example, for e-money, for national currencies, we use the e-money scheme in Europe. This is proven by the 2 licenses that we managed to acquire, one of them out of KNF in Poland, one of them out of FCA. In both countries, in some senses, we are the first one to go. So in UK, we were the first e-money institution that went through the regulatory sandbox back in 2016, sorry. And in Poland, we are the only and the first e-money institution. All this based on blockchain. This is a very different approach than our competitors. Our competitors first develop the solution and then they shout, guys, please regulate us. So this approach with regulatory compliance is quite unique. It's not enough. It's one of the mandatory steps and a key value proposition, but it's not enough for us to be market successful. So first of all, we build our technology and consensus aspects to be, first of all, very sustainable. We use significantly less power consumption levels than most of the competitors. And if I compare us into the legacy, I think we may break the myth of blockchains being heavily power consumptive. Our performance grows with the number of users. The largest test we've run so far showed that our performance is 2.5 higher than competitors. And because it scales with the number of users, and the users hold can be end users that are installing their nodes on the phones, it scales also much better. And how we've done it, we try to keep at the one hand side all of the aspects of blockchains, this encryption, superior security by encrypting pretty much all of the information, immutability, tokenization, this decentralization and distribution, and added few characteristic that are required. That were required to fulfill our requirements. First of all, the identity management. All our users, especially in the financial sector, need to go through the KYC processes. We are integrated with the IDV providers. We fulfill the KYC process on onboarding the customer. And whenever the user becomes a user on our DLT, it maintains its own keys. So it manages the own keys, and every single transaction or action that he does is approved and verified with those keys. So this approach of having a sovereign identity of a system works here. We do not have a mining. We replaced the mining with a minting concept. Made it in the way that there is no stable coin behind it. We are always part to the asset that we are processing, whether it's euro, pound, or any other non-monetary aspect. It's always one-to-one. Moreover, we can have multiple issuers on the same environment, on the same DLT. Our consensus is a bit different. It is done in the way that it scales quite well. So every single user, whether it's an enterprise or end user that is using our node, will build on the capacity of a network. So the more users we have, the more transaction per second we've done. Recently, we ran the test and we reached 1 billion transactions per day. So that's a atomic transaction per day. So that's quite a good achievement, showing that it can scale for mass use cases. Very unique is that we do everything what we do is on chain. So we are not mixing the old and new architecture. All the documents we are fully processing on chain, still keeping the regulatory compliance. And last but not least, whatever we do, whether we transact monetary or non-monetary transaction on that technology, it's all atomic swaps. So it's all cross-asset atomic swaps. Our goal is to build a new architecture. Right now, whatever you do is we are working in the stage that it is a siloed architecture. I don't know, each bank has its own siloed architecture in each enterprise, and they're interconnected via APIs through firewalls. We have a different, and whatever you process is a very thin or very narrow pipe. So if you do, for example, payments, authorization, settlements, data connecting that payment, all flies through the different communication pipes and channels. Within our solution, everything goes together on an open network protected by the modern cryptography. So within the single transaction, I can encapsulate not only authorization and settlement, but also add in the new data that corresponds. I don't know, the invoice, the order, whatever you want to do it together with that payment. There is no reconciliation needed at the end. I'm showing here a few use cases that we've implemented so far. So first of all, our partner is FIS. FIS is a larger core banking producer out of United States, owning quite a lot of core banking system. I believe quite a lot of people know about this. And we are implemented with them to move them bank-to-bank money payments in a new product called Modern Banking Platform that will be replacing the legacy system that we do. In terms of e-money, we have the ability for a mass payouts directly integrated with their entire enterprise solution. So BAT, Ergo Hestia, Philip Morris are this showcase customers that we do. We've run a use case, a POC for asset tokenization with Raiffeisen International Bank out of Austria. It was a successful POC, and right now what we are doing is that thinking of they're waiting for MiCA, so this regulation that will enable to tokenize different assets. So that's what we are going to work closely to Raiffeisen to implement their tokenization solution. Last one that I want to show you is around the documents. So we are first of all a partner of BLIK that is showing this ability to exchange documents, contractual documents between the financial institutions and clients. Right now, we are implementing ourselves within the one of the largest utility in the company with the target of going live this year to ensure that communication that they can share, first of all, public documents, but also private documents like contracts, like marketing allowance, marketing confirmation and so on. For each of those use cases on the slide, you have different value proposition for each client. The last thing that I want to show with you is that Billon is a part of two large infrastructure projects, one close by to you. We were among three large DLT providers together with IBM and Corda running a POC for Reserve Bank of India Innovation Hub together with 11 participating banks in that project, Indian banks in the project, with the aim of creating the blockchain infrastructure for the banking sector in India. And currently, this project is moving into the design phase, where we will be working with IBM and Corda on how to create a single interoperable platform between the three different DLT technologies. And the last one is the EBSI project. EBSI is the European blockchain service infrastructure. It is run by EU Commission with the aim of creating a single blockchain infrastructure for member states and EU Commission to exchange data, with a goal of providing the blockchain services to the end users. Right now, the project is run, they evaluate different technologies. Right now, we are in the process that there are 5 technologies left. They are cutting up after each phase thing, and we are waiting for the decision whether Billon will make to the final 3 for the last final stage. We should know that very early, either in August or early September. If you have any questions, just drop me an email, or I'm more than happy to answer those questions on during the Q&A session. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to talk to such a interesting crowd.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your wonderful sharing. Now we're moving on to the Q&A session. We have 2 questions, and both of them are directed to Mr. Peter Zak from BLIK. So the first question is, what do you think about the difference between BLIK code and QR code in mobile payment? In Taiwan, we are used to using QR code in transaction. what will BLIK do to compete with QR codes such as Line Pay? So this is the question. And the second question is also for BLIK. What is the business model of BLIK? How do you earn? In which model banks pay you? Could you please give us a short answer to these two questions? Thank you.
Hi, Betty Chen. Thank you for those questions. I think that I answered to all those questions over the chat during the presentations.
Mr. Peter Zach?
Yes.
Are you online, Mr. Peter Zach?
Yes, I am.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry, Mr. Peter Zach, we cannot hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Mr. Peter Zach, your microphone is muted. All right, so probably, okay.
I think we can hear
so
you.
Probably, there are some technical issues. All right, so we are very pleased that in the chat box, our participants have raised a lot of questions, and we are grateful to our speakers for answering them in the text form. So if our participants have any further questions, then feel free to contact FinTechSpace, and then we will get the questions and get the answers and back to you. So thank you again so much for your participation. So we hope that the dialogue and cooperation between Poland and Taiwan will continue, and we can certainly learn from each other's experience. So thank you once again for your participation, and have a nice day. Thank you very much.